Hello underwater friends. In today's video, we're gonna do a comparison between the Insta360 and the GoPro. But actually not this GoPro, the Hero 10. Hi, I'm Jerome, I'm an underwater videographer, and in this channel, I'll try to share my passion.
So for this comparison, first we'll look at a few videos and see which one we like the best and which one we don't. After that, I will do a comparison of specs of both cameras. Then I will do color grading of shots taken with the GoPro and the Insta to see how I can correct them and which one will look the best at the end.
So this is the setup I'm using to go underwater. So as you can see, I have my camera on top of my big housing. This is the Insta360 1X, 1X2 actually. And here is what I did to make the test. So I film with the GoPro and at the same time with the Insta360. So here is a shot taken with the Insta. So we see it's a little bit dark. It's a little bit soft, of course, because we're using the log mode, but the colors are pretty nice. Even the water seems to be okay. This shot is taken with the GoPro. It's a little bit warmer, it's a little bit brighter, and as you can see also, it's much closer than it was with the Insta. It's not as wide angle, but both seems okay, and I think both will be quite easy to correct. Next one, okay, table coral with the Insta. The blue again is nice. The sand looks really pretty much the way it should look. It's quite nice. This one with the GoPro, same space, same location. It's a little bit warmer again, and it's very soft. The whole image is very soft. Even though I didn't add sharpening, it's very soft, so we'll have to do something about it. Next one, this one is much deeper. It's around 18 meters. We can still see the nice shade on top of the sun. It's a little bit dark, but it's very close to the real colors. And this one is a little bit too red, I think, but it's quite nice as well, and we'll see anyway if we can correct them. And now let's go to the chart and see the plus and minus on all of the technical specifications. For the price, they're both about the same, $450. It can change depending on the store, but normally it's about the same. They're both waterproof, and they also both have a housing. So you can see on the left, the one for the Insta, and on the right, the one for the GoPro. You can take pictures of 24 megapixel with the GoPro 10, and you can only do 20 megapixel with the Insta360. For the recording, you can record at 5.3K 60 frames per second with the GoPro. With the Insta360 it's different because the resolution that you will have at the end is only full HD. So with only one camera you can do QHD only, which is about 1.5K at 50 frames per second. For the aperture, 2.8 for the GoPro, 2.0 for the Insta, so more like that's in the Insta360, and it's a point for them. For the battery of the GoPro is bigger than the one of the Insta, but the recording time is only 56 minutes with the GoPro when it's 80 minutes for the Insta. For the screens, the GoPro have two screens, but one is very big. It's a small one for the Insta360, but it's not that important because you're filming everywhere, so you don't need to really look at where you're filming to know if your shot's going to be good or not. Focus distance is the final one, 35 centimeters for the GoPro and only 5 centimeters from the Insta. So with the Insta360 you can get much closer to your subject and do closer shots. Okay, let's do the color correction and see how it goes. So first scene, if you're interested, there is a tutorial in the channel. Right now I'm just gonna correct a few cursors, make it super easy to have a final result and see which one seems to be the best. Okay, so I'm gonna do the first correction of this one. As we can see, we're missing a little bit of red. The rest is a little bit too high, but nothing is burned, so it's not so bad. Let's try to add some red a little. And then we'll add some gamma to warm up the picture, and we'll go down on the lift to add a little contrast. And actually we can even put little contrast here, little saturation. So this is before and after, so it's a little bit warmer. Actually warmer, we'll do it from here. We'll try to bring up some more reds. Okay, It's not bad, but not a very big correction. Next scene with the GoPro. Once again, not enough red, so we'll try to bring some up. Now we can darken a little bit to have more contrast. Try to bring up the red, gamma and gain. Okay, well, it seems to be quite good. Yeah, it was very green before, but now it's much, much nicer. And I think for this picture, it was easier to correct it than the Insta. Picture number 2. Okay, this one seems to be quite good to start with. We'll just lower maybe the blue a little, as well as the green. Maybe add a little gain to warm up the picture. A little gain to make it a little bit brighter. And then work on the lift a little. Here we go. Not bad. This is before and after. Much nicer. Next one, GoPro again. This one, same. Blue and green are a little bit too much compared to the red. Let's try to bring down here the lift for the blue as well as the green one. Okay, a little bit more maybe. Okay, can go like this as well. And this. Now we may have too much red compared to the rest. Okay, it's not so bad. I think this looks a little bit brown and a little different than what we see, but the blue is nice in the back. The yellow, like the table coral, seems okay. So for the correction, this one, maybe I prefer the one from the Insta that looks more natural than this one, but not a big difference. Final one, crinoid. This was deeper, around 18 meters. Much nicer. Which one do I prefer? This one, knowing that it's deep, I think the color of the blue of the water is much closer to what it should be. Same thing for the sand. It's not very warm, but I like it. This one is okay, but it all looks a little bit green. It's also the way it was taken. This one is from below, and we see the water as background, while this one is looking down, so it's not as nice. So I think it was very close. Some pictures were easier to correct with GoPro, some with Insta. So I don't think I can make a real difference. I think both are a little bit the same. Yeah, here's one thing that is very important. Here I film my Insta360 with my GoPro and I tried to push both buttons at the same time. This was to try to see the auto start, meaning that your camera is off, but you're just pressing the recording button and then it's supposed to do it quite quickly. You don't need to go through the steps of turning on the camera and then taking pictures or video. And here I'm gonna play it. So obviously that's when the GoPro started to record. And right now the Insta is still not recording. And here we go. That's what it is. So there is a difference of about 3 seconds, more than 2 for sure, where the GoPro is recording and actually the Insta not yet. So that's a quite big difference. So what to think about all of this? For the image, they're a little bit different, but both of them are very nice and there is not a winner or a loser. Even when we did the color correction, both of them were easy to correct and were doing some good results. For the technical point of view, you may notice that the technical things are better for the GoPro, higher resolution, higher frame rate, and also for photo, more megapixel. But on optical things, the Insta360 have a 2.0 aperture, which is nicer. Also, you can film at 5 centimeters from your subject, which is really short and very nice. And the final thing is the battery. The running time of the Insta360 is about 24 minutes longer than the GoPro, which is a lot. The final thing is the auto start. As we've seen, the GoPro made a big point on this one because it was much faster. And if you want to shoot something that just passes by, well, you're happy to save 3 seconds and maybe it's going to be your shot there. So my final thoughts. Well, there is no big winner when you see either the footage or the technical point of view, except that the Insta360 with its 2 cameras can film everywhere. And it's really interesting because you can do shots that no other camera do. At the surface, you can do tiny planet, you can do anything funny that you want. Also, you can reframe after doing your shot. So it's really good to film your dive buddy, then the animals, and then maybe even yourself in one shot and using only one camera. I mean, 2 cameras in one. So personally, I would, and I just did buy this Insta360, so it means I like it. And I think It's very interesting. I hope you liked the video. Up there is a video on how to color grade your footage with Davinci Resolve. And don't hesitate to subscribe and hit the like button. Bye bye, happy bubbles!